Hi, I'm John Twist of University Motors. Today I want to look just a little bit at a Midget 1275 web case gearbox. Here, apart. This is the main shaft. Main shaft's hardly anything goes bad with the main shaft. But once in a while, out here at the end, you can see the case hardening start to disappear. So that's an issue if the case hardening's gone, because then the needle bearings can't sit inside the first motion shaft and do their job. Let's take a look at some other pieces. In just a moment, we'll put some on the workbench. We've got our first motion shaft here. Okay, so this is nice and filthy, dirty. Eventually, we'll do another video when this stuff is cleaned up. The bearing feels okay. I can wiggle the first motion shaft, and I can feel the tiniest amount of play here on this front bearing. Take a look at it. There's the speed gear teeth are all good, and the engagement teeth are all here. Sometimes they're snapped off, and the sintering around the top here, when we take a look at it, it looks good. Let's take a look at the other first motion shaft. If I can get my hands on it, it ought to be here someplace. Here we go. These are not cleaned up. These are real filthy. So this guy, the bearing feels just about the same as the other one. The sintering doesn't look quite as nice on this conical surface against which the synchronizer fits. The speed gear teeth are all here. Looks nice, or the engagement teeth are all here, looks nice. And the speed gear teeth are not fractured or gone. We're going to come in a little more closely and take a look at these two lay gears, just for comparison's sake here on the tabletop.
All right, let's go.
So the first gear teeth are here. These still have a full length tooth. There's plenty of tooth left. But look at these over here. Look at how those are chowed up. So that's from engaging first or reverse while either the engine's in motion, of course the engine's always in motion, I mean the clutch, hasn't stopped spinning, or the car is still rolling. So every time you bring the first gear up and go to engage these teeth, it chips a little bit of surface off them. Further, there's wear. It's very hard to see, but here's one here, here's a tooth here, and the case hardening is missing right there in the center of the tooth where the other spur gear comes up and touches it. So even though the tooth might be really long, as this one is, if it's got a lot of wear down on the side of the tooth, as this one does, then it's going to be a really noisy first gear. We're going to come on back and just show a couple more here. This is the first, second sliding hub, and this is the other sliding hub. If we take a look at these teeth, we can see that these are a little longer, a little cleaner than these guys, which are kind of chopped up. So this is the better gear. The teeth are a lot longer. The front of the teeth used to be not a knife edge, but they had quite an angle to it so that the spur gears, these are spur gears, can slide into each other easily. But over a period of time they become blunted, and even more than blunted, they're actually chipped away. You can see that. Let me grab a couple of speed gears here. These are the second speed gears from both gearboxes. Here we talk about a helical pattern. So these aren't just an angle. Actually, this is a helix that moves up. I don't know how many threads per inch it is. Looks probably about 1 thread per 2 foot or something or other, but it is helical. That's so that keeps them silent when they're running. But if we look at the conical face on both these gears, you can see that this one the sintered face is pretty smooth, but over here on this guy, the sintered face is getting chipped away. The more that sintered face gets chipped away, the more difficult it is for the synchro rings to grab the ring and stop the motion for just a second. So we've got synchro rings back here. I don't know if we've got some that are, these are steel synchros that you can see on the inside of those little lines. Some of them are more worn than others. Let me grab a couple more here. I know I've got a bunch of them here. They're here someplace, but of course I can't put my hands on. Here's one. So these are all pretty much in the same condition. If you go ahead and put that synchro ring on the engagement face here, we want to make sure that this gap, the gap between the face of the engagement teeth and the bottom of the synchro ring, we want to make sure there's at least 25 thousandths there, and that's getting pretty thin, but at least 25 thousandths. This is more like probably 40. So this is still in good shape. So anyway, those are just some comments about the inside of the Midget gearbox. A lot of these parts are available. If they're not, you can find them used, both here in the United States and out of England. So that's just a quickie on the Midget Sprite and Midget 1275 web case gearbox. Until later, well, let me say a few words about joining, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also make sure you go on to universitymotors.online and sign up for the emails that we send out about our twice a month Zoom sessions, Zoom technical sessions. So until then, it's winter here in Michigan. Yowza, not a good time to drive your car, but this is the time to take it apart and do stuff to it so it's all set to go next year. Till then, safety fast.